Okay.
Hey guys, Doug here from 2 Plus Stuff, and in this series of videos, we're going to be diving into the start collecting boxes and try to figure out how to get the most value out of them, as well as where you can go to start building an army off of them. And in today's video, we're going to start with my favorite, which is the Slaves to Darkness set. The Slaves to Darkness set comes with a Chariot Kit, which you can build a multitude of ways. It comes with a Sorcerer Lord, a unit of Chaos Warriors, and a unit of Chaos Knights. Now, right off the bat, this is an amazing set because of the way that Chaos works in the game. With the exception of the Sorcerer, all of them can take all of the marks. Sorcerer can't take Khorne because Khorne doesn't like wizards. You get what I mean. But the flexibility of this lends itself to playing a multitude of armies. You could do all Slaves to Darkness, which is its own cool thing. You could do a Nurgle army, just keep the Sorcerer off to the side. I have another video about doing Khornate things, but you could do Nurgle, Tzeentch, Slaanesh, whatever you want to do. And this set will work with them almost perfectly. Now, in addition to being a great financial value as well as a good place to start, this set also makes a really interesting counter to the two-player starter set for Stormcast Eternals, in that the Chaos Warriors and the Liberators are kind of like mirrors of each other. They both have very similar stat lines, whereas you get twice as many warriors with half as much health as the Liberators, right? There's fewer but beefier, and then a bunch of single wound dudes. So it's they kind of play off each other in really interesting ways. So where could you go with this? Well, what I would say is decide on a direction. You don't have to align yourself to a specific god, but kind of give yourself an idea. So we had someone else on this channel talk about doing Slaanesh. It was one of the cues from you. And that was really intriguing. So if you do Slaanesh stuff, I would say obviously give everything Mark of Slaanesh. Pick up some Slaanesh demons and then have them be able to be summoned to the field. The Seekers of Slaanesh are really, really great to start on the field so they can bolt forward. If you're thinking Nurgle, again, the Start Collecting Nurgle box is an immense value for the Plague Drones that you get, as well as just the normal Plague Bearers. Realistically, all of the demon factions synergize really well with this box simply because the Sorcerer is so great. He hands out an amazing buff to the units on the table. He's able to summon more wherever you need them. So just keep that in mind, that demons will always work well with this box. If you wanted to expand this but kind of maintain the same, as far as Slaves to Darkness, like versatility, more Knights. You can never go wrong with more Knights. This is actually one of the few boxes that if you wanted to expand this particular type of army, buying 2 or 3, even though you get repetitive Lord models, is really not a bad deal. The Chariots can be taken in units of or multiples in one unit, which makes them a huge meat shield, and they're dirt cheap. So that is its own value right there in terms of points. Warriors, you're always going to want more warriors, and then also the Knights are really, really tanky for what they do. It's actually one of my favorite start collecting boxes simply because, again, versatility is the key word. It synergizes with other start collecting boxes really well, the demon ones in particular, but also the Khorne Bloodbound, because remember, everything can take the Khorne keyword, which means if you're rocking the Bloodsecrator, everything gets buffed from this as well because they're all Khorne mortals. So it makes a super intriguing thing that synergizes with all of Chaos. Literally, there's not a single Chaos thing that this does not work well with. Keep that in mind as you're shopping for it. Also, the last thing I want to say is when you're looking for, say you wanted to stick to Slaves to Darkness, I don't blame you. It's really, really cool. You're going to have an uphill battle because there's not a lot of synergies right there. It's kind of face value. However, you do unlock some great things as troops. I keep saying troops, but what I'm saying is battle line. Basically, all your cavalry, the Marauder Cav and the Chaos Knights, are unlocked as battle line units, and that is extremely important. See, with Bretonnia moved to the Compendium section, we don't have a lot of super fast cavalry armies. There's not a proliferation of them, right? They're not everywhere. Sure, a lot of armies have variations that they can take and kind of put those in, but man, when you're talking about a screaming army of Chaos Knights bolting down the table, capturing objectives, and having your larger stuff like the Chaos Lord and the Manticore follow up behind, it is really tough to deal with. It poses a question to your opponent, And if they can't answer the question, they lose. So guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this box. Go ahead and leave in the comments down below, click subscribe. If you want to support the channel, the best way that you can is hopping over to the store, which is in the section down below, and getting yourself an amazing gaming mat themed in the realm of death. This directly supports me with new camera equipment and stuff like that, and also gives you and your playgroup a fantastic surface to play on. Thank you so much for watching. Happy wargaming.